All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing really well. So I have been sent this where Trisha and Oscar have talked about the comeback of Colleen Ballinger. And again, I said this on my live stream, but just as a little preface, I haven't uploaded or streamed for I think like 6 or 7 days. The reason for that is I haven't been watching or consuming any of the media to do with things that have been happening. I posted my last video and kind of said goodbye for a little bit. It wasn't beneficial for me to read things, listen to things, whatever. I kind of took a step back. I feel that I'm ready to jump right back in. I know a lot of people have a lot of things to say. I know a lot of people want me to comment on a lot of things, and we are going to be starting with the Just Trish podcast. First and foremost, though, I want to say congratulations to Trisha Paytas, who is currently pregnant with her second baby Elvis. So congratulations to Trisha, and Prince Charles has 9 months left. If you don't know that joke, it's a joke in a loving nature. But yeah, congratulations, Trish, and let's get into it. Y'all good? Hope everyone's good. Anyway, let's get into it. All right. Laughed. If you don't know that joke. Oh my god, wait, why can I hear myself? That was so stressful. Sorry, I didn't like that. I really didn't like that. Anyway, pretend that didn't happen.
Another element too. It's like everyone's kind of like ragged on him for a long time.
So they're currently talking about James, and then they segue into Colleen Ballinger.
Put himself out there so it doesn't seem as like
threatening.
Predatory. Yeah, you know, because it is.
Look at the Kippelins.
Maybe that's how some people can like let it skate by, because it like I see an aspect of James Charles and I'm not like, oh yeah, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you're like, that's a lot. yeah, for sure.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, so he's just not as threatening, so people just like dismiss it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
We're to like the criminal section of the podcast.
We
the
are
true crime.
Not the criminal section of the podcast.
We go into the criminal section. I don't even know if we want to go into the Colleen.
Oh, yeah.
I really didn't want to. I mean,
okay.
Bad vibes there. I hate this bad vibes. They're just bad vibes.
I know.
We said we don't watch the video because we're not trying to support that at all.
I can't give her a view. I can't give her AdSense.
I looked at TikTok clips of it a little bit, and I'm just like, I don't know how to describe it, but just seeing the clips, the energy is so bad and so off, and I'm just like, this scares me. Like, I'm terrified. Like, she's like, there's very few people that I feel have like malice intent. I think people say like dumb things or people don't know, but she's like, I think she has a lot of like malice behind her. Like, she's very calculating. She always would say, this is a long time ago and I grow and change. But it's like, you know, just this summer, like, you're lying and manipulating me
and
to like
kids under the bus.
Blaming kids. I'm like,
I think one thing to note about this as well is I think that's an interesting point that Trisha brings up about malice. And by the way, as well, for all the people on Twitter or in YouTube or on Reddit or anything that want to make fun of me for talking about Colleen or say that I'm milking it or say anything, I want to let you know that I have dealt with people saying that for 3 years. So that literally is water off a duck's back. And those comments mean nothing to me at all. I see everyone's commenting about second channel. Yes, I do have a second channel. It'll be pinned down below. Thank you, everyone. Those comments mean nothing to me, honestly. You didn't live it, so shut the fuck up. Sorry. So if people think, by the way, that whenever I was like, took like a week off, that I wasn't talking about anything, no, I just needed a little bit of time. But I'll talk about things that have happened in my life. I will talk about things that apply to people that I feel need to be heard, like Oliver and Becky, and Trisha as well, who has her own experience with Colleen. So no matter how many times people want to comment that, no matter how many times people want to tweet me, I'm sorry, but you're going to be so unsuccessful with it. So just to let you know, I mean, you can continue saying it, but it really isn't going to change anything for me. I'm going to be honest. I've been doing it for 3 years. I got silenced 3 years ago. Not happening now. Sorry. And it's also important to note as well that one of the more recent things that Colleen did literally involved Trisha, like lying to Trisha as well. You know, blaming all of us, by the way. So whenever she says this new changed person, by the way, and, you know, I've been in therapy and all this bullshit, this summer she was lying to Trisha Paytas, blaming children, blaming the children at the time, to avoid responsibility. So that's why I don't believe any of that story. But also when Trisha mentions malice, I think that that's really interesting because the things that I have been seeing on social media, I feel have been coming out of a place of malice from Colleen Ballinger. I've been seeing a lot of body checking posts that she's been doing that have been being sent to me. I see that she's doing the childhood cancer fundraiser through the exact same website that she did it in the past, that the money goes directly into her bank account first. I believe that everything she's doing step by step is a fuck you and addressing, she took her time off, but she's going to come back and show you that she doesn't give a fuck about anything. And so I think that that's an interesting point about malice.
This isn't like a long time ago. This is like, how are you not embarrassed? I mean, I guess she's just trying to write everything off. So there's that. But this is what we were talking about earlier about the apologizing thing, the Pokimane, whatever, apologizing right away, is like even sometimes an insincere apology can go like a longer way, right? If she would just reach out to like Adam and be like, hey, sorry. Like there's nothing else he could say, right? There's nothing further he could say because he's like, well, he could accept it or not accept it.
But on that point, that's all I said. Like, for as much as people want to dunk on me, I'm so sorry. The one thing I have stayed consistent in this entire time is if I had gotten that at the start, whenever I had tweeted that I would have shut the fuck up. And whether you believe me or not, hand to God, hand on my mother, father, my brother's lives, hand on Bonnie and Dolly, my two girls' lives, that if I had gotten what I said at the start, which was a private and public apology from her to me and my parents, I would have shut the fuck up. Not only would I have shut the fuck up about this topic, I literally would never have spoken about her again. I would have never spoken about her again. So she chose not to do that because she knows that she's done these things, so she would be admitting them. But that's all I said. So I appreciate Trisha being like, Adam could accept the apology or not. All I said was, if I got it, I would shut the fuck up, and I would never, ever, ever talk about her again. I would never, ever, ever talk about her again. I did interviews where I said that I would shut the fuck up if she said that. I literally meant it. There was a couple times where I did an interview, and I suspected that maybe Colleen was going to apologize to me, and so I reached out to the person and said, can you delay your upload a week in case she apologizes to me? I would have cut everything off. So, yeah, I appreciate Trisha saying Adam can accept it or not. The truth is, I would have, because then I would have been able to close the chapter. Again, I cannot speak for Oliver, Becky, or anybody else. All I'm saying is for me.
Ingenuine or disingenuine, but at least she did that and it could like move forward. But the fact that she hasn't with him or the other one, Becky, I only know two, maybe there's more. I know there's like a list of names. I saw Swoop do, but there's like two prominent ones that I think of. It's like just reaching out to them and being like, hey, like, I'm really sorry, genuine or not. And hopefully she's genuine. I doubt she is, but because but just acknowledging, because even with me, that's the apology being like, yeah, that happened. I'm just a coward. It's like, okay, you're a bad person, but I guess it's some sort of closure. Like, at least I acknowledge that, oh, you did do that. You are a shit person. Thank you for that acknowledgement. We can move on. You know what I mean? I think she like, it's odd she doesn't, and she always says to all the people, but doesn't, especially Adam, who's made 5,000 videos, and again, not shade. That's not a shade. That's like, he rightfully could do a whole channel about her. But it's like, clearly, this one person that you really like affected, who even said, I think in a tweet, like, if she just like reached out, apologize, I'll just stop.
So there we go on that point as well. I think everything Trisha's saying here is completely true. But I mean, Trisha bringing up that point, if Adam had made 1 million, speaking about myself in third person, 1 million videos, Colleen had so many chances to shut that down. She had so many options to shut that down. And I'm so glad she's bringing this up. I'm so glad she knows her lore. I'm so glad that she knows that tweet where I said that I was going to shut the fuck up about it. That's it. That would have been it.
Yeah.
Because at that point, yeah, what can you do? You know what I mean? And that's why I didn't want to talk about it, because at this point, it's like she admitted to being a weirdo and sending like nude photos of me that she had of herself to these people, like weirdo. And there's this, and there's that. And then she comes back and it's like, as we knew she would. A lot of people are saying for Vlogmas, which, I mean, and I would respect that more too. If she came back, I was like, I need the money. Like, I'm looking for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of being like, I missed you guys and this and that.
My told me to vlog. Girl.
Your therapist did not tell you to vlog. Your therapist said, don't go on the internet.
I saw that on Reddit because let me tell you something. I have not had on my mother's life, father's life, Bonnie, Dolly, brothers. I have not watched further in the vlog than whenever she goes, no, I'm going to talk about the chickens because I don't care to watch further than that, believe it or not. I saw on Reddit people were talking about that apparently she said that where her therapist told her to vlog. Now, I think that is such an interesting comment because the Reddit over summer also talked about the fact that Colleen was very open about having to change her therapist so many times, which is a very valid thing, by the way. Like, find a therapist that works for you. But it seems that if she's with a therapist that is enabling her vlogging every day, that she didn't find the therapist that's best for her. She just found the therapist that will say what she wants to say. So I can't even imagine what that therapist bill is, but like, I guess paying someone to just be an echo chamber for you wouldn't be the first time.
Like, that's what my therapist will always say to me. And I'm like, it's my job. Like, I need to be on the internet. There's no therapist that's like, you really need to vlog right now. Right now
The
is the
people
time to do
need
it.
you. They need your content.
Oh my
Well, I think
gosh.
she actually apologized for not posting.
Yeah,
I'm like, wait, you
right.
apologize to those people? The people that have not seen
My
your video?
fans, and I'm just like,
That's not the apology they wanted.
no, she's still, it's so.
That's a good, hold on, that's a good point from Moses as well. That when people keep saying, oh, she apologized, that's a good point from Moses. Yeah, she apologized to the viewers for not uploading, but she didn't apologize for anything else.
The bits and pieces, because there's no way I'm just going to watch it. It's so.
Not, yeah, her therapist was Katie Morton. Makes so much sense now.
Oh, so manipulative. And the fact that she, like, either can't see it or it's just, again, it's just like all bad intent. There's no good behind it. The energy is off. She said she was embarrassed about her video. The video's still up. I was embarrassed by the podcast that I did with her. I was embarrassed that we had a 3-episode podcast. That was deleted in seconds. And I probably could get like a lot more money because of the scandal, whatever. I was like, we're deleting that. There's a relationship I was in that made me look stupid. Delete. Like, I delete if you're embarrassed. I don't know. I just, it's honest.
I also think that's a good point from Trisha as well. That her, basically Colleen's last time on the internet before this was the podcast with Trisha. And Trisha is opening up about feeling embarrassed by that podcast. So what did Trisha do? Delete it. Colleen says she's embarrassed by the toxic gossip train. She keeps it up. By the way, people were so offended because I said that it is her most profitable video. It is her most profitable video, by the way. It's her most viewed video of recent and her most viewed video on her channel that she only uses now. This has been a very profitable thing for Colleen Ballinger as well. So if people want to flip it around on all the people commenting on it and covering it and coming for me as well, this has been incredibly profitable for Colleen Ballinger, by the way, which is why she doesn't care about it, because it's been incredibly profitable. She says she's embarrassed by the video. It's probably made her the most amount of money of any video she has done in years.
It's just like a black spot on me. Like, this summer when all that was happening and I told her like I was sick, and I truly genuinely was when all that was happening. I was like so sick. My daughter was sick. And I told her in voice memo because like when I didn't respond right away, I was like, I've literally been sleeping all day. I'm so sick. The fact that she like didn't care and kept like just piling all this trauma on me, like not only affected me more like physically, but like I wasn't ovulating. My ovulation was completely off. So it's like this all happening now, like now I'm pregnant and stuff like that. I'm like, I am not about to let this toxicity, like she actually, like, it actually angers me, and I don't want to be angry because it's like the worst feeling in the world. And like literally being angry at someone is like, what do they say? It's like drinking poison and expecting the other one to like die or something like that. Like, it's like, it angers me so much and I don't want to be angry, but so many people are in that same position. They're like so angry because there's just like zero accountability, like zero, like literally, like, again, there's very specific people you hurt. It's children involved. It's like, how are you not embarrassed? How are you just coming back on here? And I don't know. And it's like, I do feel for people like Adam, who's very vocal about this. Like, it's like to not have that, like, sort of like, Adam, I'm sorry. Like, you know, it's so easy to say sorry when you've like hurt someone, whether that's your intention or not. Like, you hurt a child who obviously is traumatized still to this day, because it's like, again, there's no judgment, but it's like, yeah, you can't let it go because there's no closure there. You know what I mean? And it's like someone you looked up to as like this child and that you were close with as a child. And it's just like, I get angry. And then
I think as well, I appreciate Trisha being very kind to me here, but I also kind of, I want to push the spotlight over to Oliver. Oliver is only now 18. Like, I'm 21 now, right? Oliver's only now 18. Like, newly 18. And at the hands of the Ballinger family, was treated inappropriately by the family over private text messages. So, I always appreciate when people highlight me and give support and stuff, but I just hope people are giving that 10 times to Oliver. Obviously to Becky as well, but to Oliver, because Oliver is so young dealing with this. And by the way, I'm aware that like 18, 19, 20, 21, like we're in the same bracket, right? But it's I just hope people are giving that support tenfold to Oliver, because to start to process this now, like that takes years, you know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of people focus on that, where it's like, oh, these kids are now adults now and blah 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 blah. And by the way, I'm aware that when you're 18 you're adult, when you're 19 you're adult, 20 you're adult, 21 you're adult. I'm aware of that, but I'm just saying, like, we're dealing with people here that are 18, 19, 20, 21. We're not dealing with like 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Like, we're not dealing with that. We're still dealing with the 21 and under, more specifically Oliver. Like, so I just am always sending Oliver my best. And the thought of the process only starting now for Oliver is crazy, because it's been a crazy last 3 years for me. So I can't imagine starting that process now. And I just hope people are always giving him the most support. So if you're ever on Twitter and you see Oliver's name pop up, go and send him some love. Yeah.
The fact that she's just back, and I don't want to be. So I'm choosing Truly, like now, Truly, like I'm just trying to scroll past, and I hope like she's just in her corner, you know, with her core people watching her, like, you do you, I guess. But I'm just hoping to fade into oblivion, because this is like a person with like, she's a bad person, you know what I mean? And I don't say that about many people. There's less than like I think there's maybe 3 people I think are like truly bad. Everyone else, I'm like, they made a mistake, they're not my cup of tea, whatever. And I just feel it in my physically. And for those kind of people, I feel like, I know I've said this before, but I truly have to mean it at this point. I feel like I just like need to like not look at anything about her, because it like angers me. And I feel like when I do that with people that are truly like evil, where they have like malice intent to like hurt me or like make stuff up to hurt me, which is like what she clearly did. She's just like lying and gaslighting me and like all this stuff like that. And not to even like go back to like what she was doing in the first place, like making fun of me. And I was like, I don't know. I can't even grasp it. But I have to just like block that out completely, because like physically, she makes me like sick. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't even like look at it. It's so, I don't know. It's that bad energy vibe.
And also, this woman is, I mean, if you think about it as well, when she did the podcast with Trisha, this was apparently after she had done all that therapy and stuff, but it's like, this woman is willing to sit down and lie to Trisha's face when she knew that she had been bullying her for years. Like, I don't get it.
Which I really don't feel like. I feel like with this podcast, yeah, people say it's drama or whatever, and it's like, it's whatever. Like, if I talk about people, it's like I almost have like no connection to it. But this is just something that's like so. But a lot of people, like you even said this too, like you're not directly affected, but you have this like bad vibes. You're like, this is not it.
And what I remember too is like, and this is like such a random story. I've only met her like really like one time, and when I was working for Joey, and they filmed a collab, and he had to go get something downstairs. And it was just me and her in the room. And I was thinking about this over the weekend. She specifically just like wouldn't even like look at me. And it was just me and her in the room. Like literally just me and her.
Oh my God.
And,
was she
like,
on her
wouldn't
phone?
even talk. She was like either on her phone or just like looking. I remember, but like wouldn't even like look at me. And I remember like trying to make small talk a little bit. But it was just like, oh yeah. And it was just that. And like I worked in entertainment for so long. So like I'm used to like talent just kind of like being standoffish. And you kind of just like, you know, are invisible or whatever. But then that just in context with like everything else, you know,
it's
hear.
Like, but okay,
Oscar has amazing teeth, by the way.
We're supposed to like prepare, you know, they're like doing an acting scene, so like yeah, they can't talk to you or something like that. But I don't know, me and like anyone else I've seen like celebrity wise, like They always talk. Like, I always talk to the people behind the camera because it's like, especially if you're alone in a room with someone, you're going to talk to them. But I always do because that's like, it's so cliche.
It's just a sign of respect.
Especially you, it's just you and Joey. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like when you would be in the, I think we did a fast food one. I don't even think you saw us, but there's one time me and Joey did like a fast food video.
Oh,
and you were in the back.
I was just in the back.
Did people see you or no?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, and to me, I was like, well, it'd be weird to like not acknowledge you. You're in the back like this whole time. Like and I get it, like producer, you're like silent in the back, but it's like, I don't even TV shows. I always talk to people. I don't know. Yeah,
it's just very standoffish and like yeah. But and we knew she was gonna come back. I just never expected her to come back so casually, like fall vlog.
Wild.
What's
the second one? Second one was like Christmas. Here we are, Vlogmas.
Like, girl.
Girl. And
I think there's something that I'm also happy for Trisha when I watch this, because obviously she had to deal with everything that came out with this as well. And I'll never take away from that, but I just, oh my God, I do realize that my nails match this. Oh, I didn't realize that until right this moment. The way Trisha is able to kind of cover this and be like, you know, here's my opinion, but like, fuck her. You know what I mean? I think it is very nice to see Trisha, deal with this in a way that seems very, productive and healthy. You know what I mean? I'm happy for her. I really am. Especially now that she's pregnant as well. I mean, she doesn't need that stress.
I think also, like, you should take enough time away for, like, the punishment to fit the crime. You need more than 4 months. Like, you did something, like, horrendous, and obviously you don't want to say sorry, and obviously you're not sorry, but you're just trying to come across more sincere. It's like, take a little more time. Give a year. It's like, you know, it's like Shane left for a year, and what was his, like, jokes about kids or something like that? It was something, like, not even as, like, serious. Like, he wasn't talking, I don't know, whatever. Went away for a year, kind of came back.
Specific victims who are, like I saw Becky was saying, like, she was, like, very, very triggered by Colleen coming back, you know, and she was already having, like, a really tough time, like, and going through therapy, and this, like, kind of put her, like, a few steps backward. Just like you said, not get any acknowledgement.
That's what it is. There's no closure for these people who are clearly so upset, and, like, yeah, and, like, I think that's, like, the James Charles thing. Anything you see someone, you know,
and as well, I mean, I didn't
felt some type of way, and her apologies, like,
I didn't respond to any of Becky's tweets, but I did see them, and I wanted to reach out, but I didn't know what to say. As well, kind of the similar conversation we had with Oliver. If you see Becky pop up in the timeline, send her some love. Her tweets were really sad to read in that moment. I could tell she was going through it already, and then she obviously felt some type of way after this. So if you ever see any of these people on social media, they're getting enough shit as it is. Send them a little bit of love.
Like, sorry, I hurt some people with my comedy or something like that. It's like, okay, but there's a very specific person you hurt with that, who you humiliated on stage. Not everyone had that experience. So say sorry for that. You threw Adam under the bus with malice intent. Do you know?
Even this year, even like this summer. This is why I'm still pissed about this. We're dealing with her throwing me under the bus, talking shit about me as recent as June. Bitch. So I don't want to hear people being like, you're rehashing the past. Trisha Paytas has confirmed that Colleen Ballinger was talking literal shit about me in June. Like, this is not talking about the past. Yeah, for a lot of it is, but we're also talking about recent day when she's, oh my God, I'm in therapy. Bitch, you were talking shit about me, trying to throw me under the bus, trying to ruin me again in June. Whatever.
Editing specifically out to say, you know, oh, he asked for it, even though you, like, very, again, just bad intentions, and, like, that's something, like, just apologize. You're not going to go to jail yet unless there's some, like, proof. And that's what I say, like, I don't think you have to, like, get over anything if there's actual, like, something criminal that happened and stuff like that. Like, yeah, you could, you know, go to the police with it, but still, there's malice intent behind all those things and stuff like that. And even the girl that was on stage, maybe that was her comedy, whatever, but that girl's clearly, like, upset and very vocal about it. It's not, like, a secret, like...
Yeah. There's so many little pieces, but, like, especially with Adam, for example, too, like, he, like, came out that first time, you know, and she, like, buried him. Like, she had to, like, run him off the internet almost, you know, and he was a kid, like...
Thank you, Oscar, for saying that. And also, this is why... Oscar, I appreciate you saying that. This is why when people are trying to get me to shut up or whatever like that, I'm like, you did this successfully 3 years ago. Bitch, people on the internet can say whatever they want about me at this day. Like, literally, it is off my water off a duck's back. Like, you successfully did it 3 years ago, and I kind of like that to happen to myself anymore. I'm not allowing myself to be walked over by these people. I'm not. And I'm glad that Trisha isn't. I'm glad that Becky isn't. I'm glad that Oliver isn't. I'm glad that Josh isn't. Like, I'm glad that Ella isn't. You know what I mean? The list goes on and on and on.
Yeah, literally
a kid at the time, and it's like, oh my god, it really does drive me crazy. And like I said, I knew she's gonna come back. I didn't expect this, and like I would respect it if she's just like, yeah, I gotta get back to work because I have kids I need to support.
Yeah,
that I need to put through school and stuff. Then it's like, fine, whatever. But to just come back, like it just gives me, it's like a swarmy little feeling. I don't know.
It's very like there's something not genuine about it because she says, I've been doing a lot of therapy during this time. So like, okay, so you came back. Why aren't you sharing that? Like, I'm doing a lot of therapy and I've learned that.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. Not Moses getting on and calling her right. That's a good point as well. What have you learned? It's such an interesting, like, I've been in therapy. Okay, and what have you learned? Or what does that apply to your life now?
What did you work on?
Yeah, you're not coming back with something you learned from your therapy, like telling us, okay, and I learned that I did this wrong or that wrong, or this is what I see different now from what I saw before. Like,
yeah, like,
so I don't believe it. I don't believe the therapy.
There's zero genuineness. There's so zero. Like, you just see it. You just see soulless, like nothing behind the eyes, just trying to manipulate. And she can, because she has like all these young people that follow her, obviously the comments and stuff like that, but it's just wild.
That's also why a lot of, like, hold on, my back's itchy. I got it. That's also why if, like, I'm getting attacked by a Colleen Ballinger fan, it kind of means nothing to me at this stage, because I'm like, I was you know what I mean? Like, I was you. And whenever she was getting backlash, I did what you did defending her. So it's like, I get it. Give you 5 years and you'll understand. Like, you know what I mean? This is live.
Again,
Hi.
Something that's like so serious. It involves children, and it's just to come back like that. And it's like, yeah, what are you working in therapy for? Because you're sick in the head. Like, okay, tell us. Like, be aware. And I think like if you can be aware that you have like a sickness, which I don't know, I'm not diagnosing her, but there's obviously something wrong with her. Like maybe explain that, and people can maybe have a little more empathy or whatever. But
even if it's something like I talked to a therapist and I realized I was like emotionally stunted. Like, it doesn't even have to be like a diagnose, just like something to explain.
Why are you do this? Why did you lie about him? Like, why and apologize? Like you said, you buried this person, got sent so much hate to incite hate on someone, like
a kid, especially.
A kid with also like lies, just like leaving details out and stuff to make him look some type of way. Like, that's again really malice, really like evil. And that deserves an apology. That deserves like basic apology. And I think that's all Adam like asked for in the beginning. And it kind of does go a long way for both sides, because like I said, she apologized to me, and it's just like at that point it's like, okay, well, like I don't have nothing else to say, because she admitted she's a crap person, and that's it. And you can support that person if you want or not, but there's like, again, very few bad people on the internet, and it's like, I think it's like better to just like not give them attention. And a lot of people said that too, like, I'm not giving a review. They clipped it on TikTok or whatever like that. And I think that's just the way to go, because I think she just, came back for attention and money, and just not giving her that is the only way to.
All right. Well, we will leave it here. I appreciate Trisha, Moses, and Oscar's take. Send Oliver and Becky some love. Also, congratulations to Trisha and Moses on baby number 2, baby Elvis. A lot of people wanted me to react to that. I appreciate as well that they remember things that I have said that completely contradict that I would never not stop talking about her or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, they've remembered what I've said and that I would stand by my word. And they also remembered that she was shit talking me this June. They also remembered that she tried to, bury me off the internet 3 years ago because of her own lies. Like, I appreciate that they're taking the time to remember all of that. We will leave it here. Shout out to them. I appreciate it. And again, congratulations, Trisha. And we will leave it there.